Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great this week. This week we're going to cover Chapter 9, which is the judiciary. We will look at the court structure of how the court here in Texas is structured. You see a picture here on the left, and it is a picture of the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals Justices. You will notice that there is a overlapping and a cumbersome when it comes to the court system here in Texas. The only other court system that has two state Supreme Courts is Oklahoma. Why they have it, who knows, but that's just the structure. So we will also look at the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals and how that area of courts are designed. We will also look, in addition to looking at the structure, which I know you'll come across in this chapter, we'll definitely look at the Texas legal process, and we'll break it down and the different areas of specialty, and one being civil law, and that is dealing with how those cases are dealt with, what civil law really deals with, and how it all plays out, meaning, what the individuals that bring about the case or the lawsuit, what they're referred to as, and who is the person that's being sued, what their role is, and how the standard of proof is for civil cases. We will also talk about criminal law and how criminal law cases play out within Texas, and that standard of proof, which is totally different from the civil law. We will also talk about, in terms of civil law, I will also share with you about what the role of a justice of the peace is, because that's important to know. So, because a lot of times when you may unfortunately have to go to small claims court, or if it's something like a minor infraction, you will be standing before a justice of the peace. In some cases, just again depends on the nature of the case. We'll also talk about how grand juries operate within criminal law, and that's something that you may have seen on TV, or you've heard about grand juries being formulated or put together, and a lot of times it will come about when it's a case that maybe the state attorney general, well, that's not just the state attorney general, but the district attorney may feel like, oh, we only got one shot, we got to make it stick. So I want to go and have this grand jury to make sure that there's enough to make these charges go forth. So therefore, if the grand jury says yes, then there's an indictment, and then a trial takes way after that. Also, we will look at bench trials. And bench trials, and I'll have a picture of Judge Judy. Everyone's familiar, hopefully is familiar with Judge Judy, but Judge Judy, along with Judge Maybelline, these are, even though they're on television, these are judges that are conducting bench trials, meaning that there's no jury. And we'll also talk about, the difference between bench trials as well as jury trials, because it definitely is a difference, and your mock trial is going to be being conducted of having a jury. We're just doing it in a different way because we're virtual. And some courts are actually taking the virtual format of conducting a trial, just so that even though the courts are closed, that business can continue to somewhat, progress, because it cannot just be just a total shutdown of our court system. And then also to close out the chapter, I definitely will share with you a video or two of an elected justice that's here in Texas, still on the bench, and you may be surprised as to what happened and what the results were and where everything is now with this particular justice. So this concludes the overview for Chapter 9, the Judiciary. Take care.